Recreate My Being, Hard Not to Fall Part 2. My first time feeling true guilt was like having a knot tied around me, getting tighter as I try to get out of it. Just as I think I have managed to untie it, it tightens and reminds me of all I have done. I see it when I look in the mirror and wonder who that person was a few days ago. A person so vengeful and hateful of someone who never meant me harm. Felix forgave me, after which he checked on me multiple times. But I couldn't just start acting like it did not hurt him and my Hunter. No, not mine. Felix's Hunter. The worst part was that maybe if I had the guts, I would have been able to tell him I loved him more than a year ago. I would have been able to show him just how much he meant to me and treat him right. But I was a coward, and I never took a chance because I was scared of losing my crown. Popular jock, captain of the football team, homecoming king, but alone. Do you ever do anything right, Mason? You're not even paying attention. I've been talking to you for the past 10 minutes about how you're not performing as you should this year. Everyone is complaining, your teachers, your coach. Do you want George to beat you once again? Do you not care about the family name? He pounded on the table, not caring that Ina, my 5-year-old sister, had jumped and was close to crying. His face turned redder, and his voice raised an octave as he looked like he might strangle me with his bare hands. My mother looked down and pretended to be focused on placing the bacon perfectly on her plate, as she had been doing for the past 10 minutes. Normally, I would have become a stammering mess, and I would have promised to do better. But my gosh, he did not care about my best because it was never enough. He knew nothing about how stressed I was about college applications, the mountain of schoolwork, and our upcoming games. I missed one practice, Dad. You are acting as if I killed someone. That was a mistake. For he got up, lightning fast, and grabbed my arm before I could say anything, dragging me to the garage. There, he smacked me before I could even process what just happened. Then he told me never to speak to him like that ever again. I work hard every day for this family, but you are all ungrateful. You are always slipping up, never good enough. Do you want to stay in this shitty town for all your life? Do you want to be the best? He asked. Why could he not be the best then? This was all his dream and not mine, and I was starting to resent him for pushing his life onto mine. I hated everything he made me do. Every word he said raked against my skin, and every insult rang in my head. Even in my dreams, he was chasing me and telling me to do better. And if I did not, he would connect his fist with my nose, kick me in the shins, take away my phone, anything to make me suffer. Do it yourself, Brad, I found myself saying. He gasped as if I had knocked the wind out of him, and I relished in his shock. That this time I did not bow down and whisper yes sir as he made me feel smaller and smaller. I am your father and you will respect me. He raised his hand once again. I pushed him back with all my strength, taking him by surprise. By the time he was shouting at me, I was already on my way out of the yard. Not my father, you are my stepfather, I whispered, though I knew he would not hear me. 60 minutes later, Mason McMillan? Did the Bermuda Triangle open up or something? Silver said. Well, his name was Charles, but everyone called him Silver because of piercings. He and I ran in different circles. I was not sure that we have ever even spoken. Maybe once in the past week, the reason why I was here. I want you to tattoo me, I spoke. Is that even legal? I am 18, am I not? I have money as well. Well, will you do it? I said as I shoved the wad of cash toward him. He raised an eyebrow, and the silver piercing through it caught the light, glinting. Is this a senior prank or what? I just did not expect to see you here, that's all. But okay, what design do you want? He asked, taking a book and handing it to me, his nails looking like they had been dipped in charcoal. No, it's not here. There was a design I saw in your sketchbook a few days ago, I said. I had seen a sketch he did of a campus that looked like a ring of fire at the same time, and I asked him about it. He said it did not have a particular meaning. It was just a doodle. That was when I asked him if art was not something that had to have meaning. He replied that for him, it was a way of offloading all that was on his mind, and the conversation ended there. I had been thinking of it for the past week and how I wanted that particular sketch to hold meaning. I figured he was designing it for his brother's tattoo parlor where he worked after school. And what better way to piss off my dad than a tattoo? Josh is not here yet. Either way, but it's the design you asked about the other day, right? He asked. He had shifted from a bored and slightly amused teenager to a serious man. I noticed just how good he smelled as he leaned over and started to discuss placement and price with me. I do not know what had happened, never having noticed just how alluring he had been before. His hands were strangely soft as he felt the inside of my wrist, where I wanted it to be. "Brave for your first time," he sighed, handing me a form. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Wrist tattoos are some of the most painful," he explained. I nodded as I filled in the form. We did not say anything after that, just sat in silence as I waited for Josh to come back from his smoke break. "He's taking too long. I don't have all day," I said, about 30 minutes. "Chill out, you need a stress ball or something? Here, have some chocolate." He whipped it out from nowhere. I took it skeptically. After 10 more minutes, I was about to leave when his brother came back in. Later that evening, me. "Hey, I forgot my aftercare form. My mom could not quit buzzing my phone." Silver. "Who is this?" Me. "Mason, I came in earlier. This is Josh, right?" Silver. "No, it's Charlie, his brother. Or Silver, I guess." Me. "Sorry, can I have his number then?" Receives an attachment. Silver. "Do not lose this one on your phone." Me. "Are you saying I'm dumb?" Silver. "Just some dry humor. Chill, dude." Me. "Sorry, I'm on edge." Silver. "Everything okay?" Me. "It's nothing." Silver. "I'm surprised you're still alive. Your dad is scary." Me. "Stepdad." He took one look at me and went back out. Haven't seen him all day. Mom says I should probably stay out of his way for a while. Silver. "I never thought you would be the rebellious type." Me. "You of all people should know about stereotypes." Silver. "Oh, I know the rumors about me. Who I am, what I do, and whom I love." Me. "Then why don't you set them straight?" Silver. "I do not care. No one deserves to be corrected. But you did trust me enough to tell me about your dad. So, no, I do not illegally tattoo people when my brother is high. Nor do I smoke or drink. Yes, I am gay, and my parents indeed left me and my brother in foster care." Me. "Wow." Silver. "It is a lot of baggage, right? Did I prove then that I'm the freak they say I am?" Me. "Thank you for sharing this with me, and sorry for making assumptions. I wish I could be like you though, not caring too much about making everyone happy." I did not know how, but the conversation took a whole different turn as I realized that I had more in common with him. He was not at all the mean, tattooed guy that he showed to the world. He seemed really gentle and was a good listener. I found myself just opening up to him until late into the night. No one knew but Hunter knew about my stepfather and I's messed up relationship. Silver knew all about being raised by a parent who is not yours, for he had been in foster care till his brother turned 18. I did not know how time flew, but by the time I went to bed, I could have sworn I saw the orange tinge of a sunrise outside my window. The next day at school, all I could think about was how I was tired of putting up this mask and pretending that I was perfect. The Casanova who wasn't bothered. As I listened to my friends talk about their weekend, how much they drank, and which girls they went back home with, I got so bored. It was repetitious. They talked over each other bragging. I could not sit there for too long. It felt so mind-numbing, and all I wanted to do was just scream. I caught Tallulah's eye. She was sitting at the same table as me, and she was giving me an evil eye. I figured she must have known about my crush on Hunter and how I ruined their relationship. "Hey, can I talk to you?" I asked. Ooh. Some guys at the table went, and one of them patted me on the shoulder. Their minds were always filled with nonsense. How did they suffer through all this? We stood up and moved a few tables over. I could feel the entire table staring at us as we sat down across from each other. I saw Tallulah raise a hand, turned around, and saw her sister stop in her tracks. I should have known she would come along too. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. I was a jerk. I'm also sorry for ghosting you, I said. Fine. Just be honest next time. I can take rejection and I won't die. Anyways, see you later. She got up. I was perplexed about what just happened, and why was she not trying to kill me as she had been at the mall? I got up and started making my way out of the cafeteria into the art classroom where I knew Spider was. He raised an eyebrow when he saw me, but immediately started chatting me up, and that was how the rest of the week went. By hanging out with Silver, some things were revealed to me, and it was that my friends did not care. They did not even ask me what was going on or why I was hanging out with Silver. I knew they talked about me when I was not there, and they whispered that maybe Silver was blackmailing me into hanging out with him. My new tattoo also caused them to treat me like a social pariah, just as they had done to Silver. My loss in popularity was not dramatic and damaging, it was just the shedding of skin. Seeing how easy it was to just detach from what was making me unhappy, I did the same at home. I avoided Brad as much as I could. And you know the funny part? With him not yammering in my ears every single second, I was able to improve my grades. I knew he wanted to control me, but I also knew he was scared of my power, something I was fast learning from Silver. Silver was insanely smart, funny, and kind despite all he had gone through. I could tell him anything and it would never be too silly. If I did say something slightly dumb, we would laugh at it together. If anyone had asked me about how I felt about Hunter several weeks before I started talking to Silver, I would have told him that I was happy for him. But being away from him hurt a lot. But when Hunter and Felix finally came out as a couple, I felt nothing but happiness for them. I had become really good friends with Felix over the past couple of weeks. In fact, he and Silver knew each other pretty well. It was not rare for the four of us to meet for some pizza after school and have a good time. You know, I thought having popularity would make me happy, but losing it actually made me gain true friends and happiness. Hunter was now back in my life, and he did not hate me anymore, which was more than I could ask for. "Hey, my brother is calling me. I'll be back soon," Silver said as he left the table. As soon as he left, Hunter sighed. "When are you going to tell that boy you like him?" he asked. I looked down. "Hey, not everyone is as forward as you," Felix teased him, twinkling in his eyes. "You talk too much. I'm just offering love advice." Hunter rolled his eyes. "I just like having you get all worked up. Look at how red your nose gets." Felix laughed. He was not wrong. Hunter's nose was just getting redder. I winked at Felix to say thank you for the save. I knew I liked Silver, but I did not want to be put on the spot. I get all tongue-tied and unlike myself. But Hunter was right. I could not keep acting as though my heart did not spike up when Silver touched me. Suddenly, I felt a hug from behind, and the all-too-familiar scent made my thoughts race to places I did not think they should. I gasped as he whispered in my ear, "I have a surprise for you," and shivers ran down my spine. I turned around, twisting his arm into a slightly more comfortable position. "Tell me," I said. "I have the house to myself. Wanna do movie night? We could all stock up on popcorn and snacks." He looked at the other two. "Oh well," Felix started. "We can't. We have a..." Hunter continued. "Have to babysit Lee," Felix finished. They were lying, of course. They're trying to set me up with Silver. And while I could say that I did not mind, but it was also nerve-wracking being alone with him in a house at night. "Yeah, we could just have a movie night for us too," I added. "Okay, seems okay." He shrugged, so calm and collected. Gosh, I wondered if he liked me back as well, or if he saw me just as a friend. Well, I was ready to make a fool of myself. Movie night was a blast with him. He put some comedies on and we were laughing most of the time. We started the movie on opposite ends of the sofa, but somehow I ended up sitting very close to him and gripping him during every funny and intense scene. "I need some water," he said, his voice vibrating with just how close he was to me. Something must have been up with my motor skills, because instead of moving further from him, I moved closer. Just as he was getting up, he was halfway up when his leg hooked mine. He was about to fall when I reached up for his arm. He landed just an inch from my face. Static electricity crackled between us as I noticed the shift in his eyes. We had been close before, but every time one of us had averted his eyes. But this time, there was no running away. He leaned down and ever so slightly pecked my lips. That kiss warmed me up, right to the bottom of my feet, causing me to push him down closer to me. I could not breathe or think, as all I thought of was him. I had no idea just how much I wanted him closer to me. About a minute later, his lips left mine and he slumped down next to me. I could hear his breath, the thundering of my own heart, and his hands as they traced the design that he had made and that his brother had etched into my skin. "It has a meaning, you know, the design, but I didn't tell you. I wanted a tattoo on myself, but I could tell you needed it more," he said. "That day at the mall when Hunter and Felix confronted you, I heard the entire exchange. You looked so pained when they left, and I wanted to offer my support. But you didn't know me. You barely talked to me. I was thinking of that situation when I drew it. Do you see how those lines are bursting out of that circle, like fire? It was you, starting to realize who you were, he said. I was unable to speak or say anything after that revelation. I liked it because it looked like a campus, but fire at the same time. I don't know what to say, but thank you for seeing me even when I was blinded to you being there. I squeezed his hand. It's okay, you're not alone, he said, bringing me to his chest, which was good because all I could do was cry as all the anger and resentment I used to feel left me. Yes, I am not alone. The end. Well, that was a roller coaster. Maybe a reminder that those who are always smiling and seem to have a perfect life might not be so perfect in reality. Summary. After fixing things with Hunter and Felix, Mason has a hard time, feeling trapped in the identity of a popular guy, and his schoolwork starts to suffer. He has a fight with his stepdad, who is always putting pressure on him and treating him like he is not good enough. He stands up against his stepfather and goes to get a tattoo, where Silver, a boy he goes to school with, helps his brother. He wants a design he saw Silver doodling days before, which Josh tattoos on him. Later on, he texts Silver by accident, asking for a copy of the aftercare form which he lost earlier. They get to talking and realize they are more similar than they thought and fast become friends. Mason apologizes to Tallulah for hurting her feelings, and she forgives him, after which he dumps his popular friends for Silver. Hunter and Felix, who are now publicly dating, encourage him to confess his feelings to Silver, who is now part of the friendship group. At a movie night, they kiss and have a heart-to-heart. For the first time, Mason does not feel the heavy weight he carries around anymore. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you the stories you love.